Hey all, I have a special announcement today, and I'm going to call it What's the Fuss About PM or Perception Modification. So, do you know what it is? Would you like to know? Because I'm going to do a free webinar, and you can come explore this with me, and I'm going to teach and coach you, if you come, at this live teaching webinar. So, many people emulate this. And you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad because there's a lot of dogs and other animals out there that need help. But you know what? They don't quite get it just right. They don't get it as right as it can be. And it makes a difference because my classes are full of people that got intrigued by the possibilities and then came to me looking for the real answer. So it's all good. It's all good. But if you really want to know how to do this, you need to come here. So, where did perception modification get its start? Why did I do that? Because let's face it, it is not glamorous, right? You're not going out there and strutting your stuff and getting trophies and all that. It's about as compelling as watching grass grow or paint dry. But the thing that's really beautiful about it is seeing animals blossom, seeing them reclaim and recreate their lives. 95% of the work of most dog trainers is behavior mod. If you're doing behavior mod, this is the way to do it. So let me put this in perspective. As an exotic animal trainer and manager, I learned that exotic animals, not particularly at zoos, any place where they're interacting with people, can get so upset by things that they drop dead on the spot. Let's say they're being captured. That would be one situation. And for example, if you know there's a fire coming and you're going to try to relocate some antelope and you're outstanding at it and you just drop down and catch those antelopes in 30 seconds and you're going to save their lives, they're very likely to die right then. So when animals come into zoos and aquariums, they're, much better prepared than a wild animal would be to interact with people and to deal with the things that we have to do to take care of them, like vet exams and transporting them, that kind of thing. But we don't want to be the cause of any animal succumbing to stress. So I set out to solve this problem. And we've gotten more and more validation over the years. We know why the things are working and we know how they're working. At the beginning, we just knew they worked. Anyway, we can just help so many animals. We can save so many animal lives. And we can make your life easier and better. Because if you're going to do this work, believe me, you want these tools. Okay. So we can solve all the toughest behavior modification problems. Can we solve every single one? No. Just as with people, there are dogs that have a mental illness, brain damage, diseases, epilepsy. We can't solve everything, but we can solve over 97% of the difficult dogs that get sent my way. And we can do it pretty fast. So if you're dealing with, emotion and perception-based problems like fireworks fears or dog arousal or separation anxiety, which is a toughie for many people, Perception modification is the one-stop overarching solution to all of these and much, much more, like hyperarousal, fear, unwillingness to go outside, don't want to get their nails clipped, don't want to go to the vets, don't want to get examined by a judge. Yeah, you can learn how to do all of that in this single class. Not only do it, but do it well. So where do you have to go for this? Online, in the convenience of your own home. It will be a Zoom call, and look in the description for the link. It's going to be on Monday, June 17th from 3 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. June 17th, 3 to 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, US, right? Why? Because we can help most animals. And this is a very efficient, cost-effective path to success for trainers, animals, and their owners. And who is it for? This is for the professional trainers who solve the most challenging training problems or behavior problems and want independence from e-collars and all other devices, and even food. So I don't have anything against any tools, although I don't use any e-collars myself. But I don't have a problem with knowledgeable trainers with e-collars. But you know who does? A bunch of people that may not even know what they're talking about, or maybe they do. That's none of my business. But the fact is they're legislating against e-collars. Wouldn't it be nice to not be dependent on those or any other devices or foods? This is also for pet owners who are determined to help a pet they have that has serious behavior problems. And they want to keep that pet in their home. So we will let non-professionals in on that basis and that basis only. So who is this not for? Well, if you can already solve everything and produce animals that are also self-managing and do this in record time, it's not for you. You've already got it. Good job. It's also not for people that are determined that training requires e-collars, any kind of collar, any kind of device, coercion, and for this kind of training, even food, and definitely toys. So this is no extrinsic devices. And you know what? You'll just be blown away because the animals become self-managing. They do this on their own. We guide them to learn how to do it. If you can't believe that, you gotta come take a look. Okay, so let's talk about animals that not only resolve their behavior issues, but they become self-managing. And so what I mean by that is that when you send that animal home where the problem thrived, right? Imagine if you didn't have to worry about the dog backsliding. And that's exactly what we get with this technique. So you may remember the story from the animal shelter, but 29 animals slated for euthanasia, 27 of them took a total of 15 hours of training. 2 took an additional session. They had 2-week sessions, which were approximately 15 hours of training time per 2 weeks. So 2 of the animals got extended for another 2 weeks. But they were all successful. Within a week, every one of them was adopted. None were ever returned. And 2 years later, we called all of the people, and all the animals were still successfully in their home. And 15 years later, I got a chance to talk to the owners of the horse that was in this cohort group. And that horse was still doing fine 15 years later. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Okay, so if you resonate with that, or if you're curious, if you want to get some of this crazy stuff, I'll see you on Monday. All right, thank you.